How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This here's my first video to be looking at the camera, so y'all bear with me. It ain't easy. What I want to show you today is how to install decals. Like you want to put a decal on your car window or a piece of equipment. I'm going to show you two different techniques. One is a dry technique and the other is the wet technique. Now, what I want to show you is, should you happen to order some decals from me, they come in a little bit different than most folks. What I do here is I fold over the tape on the back of the decal. I don't know if it comes through on there or not. Maybe you can get it a little bit there. And what you do is you take your pair of scissors and you cut right along that edge right there, just cutting that edge off. Now the reason I do this is because with this tape like that right there, see how it is? That tape keeps this from separating whenever I ship it to you or mail it to you in an envelope. Because the worst thing in the world is you pull it out of the envelope and it rolls out and all of a sudden you ain't got decal you put on. That ain't worth crap. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off for just a second. Then I'll get my scissors and I'll trim a little bit, then pause it, and we'll try to figure it out. Alright, just for giggles, I made up a decal that says Pawpaw's Sawmill. My wife was nice enough to get me a sawmill for my birthday, so I thought I'd just put a decal on there just to show y'all how this works. Anyway, what I do is I just trim off the excess here on the all the way around it. It don't matter if you cut 1/8 of an inch off or 1/2 inch, as long as you got the room to do it. And you have to hold up to the light. I don't know if you can see through there or not what it says. It says Pawpaw's Sawmill. But anyhow, all we have to do then is we're going to line it up where it goes. And I'm just going to show you the technique, making it real short, sweet, and simple. I used to use soapy water with a little alcohol in it, made my own application fluid whenever I done it, and I learned later on that that was the amateur way of doing it. And Lord, I've been doing this stuff for 19 years. Been doing it a while. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the camera again, and we're going to go right over yonder where my sawmill's set up, and we'll put this decal on. Hang on. Now, when you get your decal, it's going to have been, a few days sitting in an envelope or whatever. And what you want to do is get you a squeegee. It don't have to be a fancy squeegee. It can be a driver's license, credit card, whatever. But you want to rub that down, because all this is a piece of lightweight masking tape on the front, and on the back is wax paper. And what we have here then is just vinyl letters, just like a bumper sticker's made out of. Only what we've done is we've cut away the stuff we didn't want on that bumper sticker, so we got lettering. So what you want to do, if you're real particular where it goes, you'd want to line it up, put a level on it, get it just right, and put masking tape down. That way you could hold it in place and peel it off, and I'm not going to mess with all that. Once you get the hang of it, ain't no big deal. But what you do want to do is lay that rascal flat, so that as you're peeling off that wax paper, you're making a real sharp curve here, and it encourages that wax paper to come off and leave the plastic. Okay? Oh, you don't want to do it on a windy day neither. And all you got to do is you figure out exactly where you want that rascal and put it down at one spot, just like that. And then all you got to do is just work it right on out. The idea is to work them bubbles out from under it. And this is the same technique you use even if you was doing a great big old decal. You could even cut it in half and do one piece at a time, as long as you taped it where you want it. Now all I'm doing here is I'm rubbing it down real good, because I'm telling that vinyl I want you to stick to that green sawmill, okay? And then and just peel away the tape. And that's right there is how you put a decal on dry. No application fluid at all. And if you did it right, and I think I got pretty lucky, there ain't no bubbles in there neither. Now the vinyl I use is good for like 8-9 years. And it ain't going nowhere. It'll last a long time. So I hope that helps you there. That's on the dry application, and we're going to do the wet application next. Okay, now then, what I've done is I have cut out another decal, and I'm just going to stick it on this glass door right here. The dogs quit barking at me. Anyway, now again, when you get your decal, it will have tape folded around the edges. You'll need to trim it off just like the other one I showed you. What I did here is I had application tape and it come that wide, so I said, well, what the heck, I just go ahead and just use that instead of going through the trouble of putting a piece of masking tape across here and all that. All right. Anyway, once again, you want to squeegee it down real good. Now, when you put it on wet, you have to use what's called application fluid. And all it is a teaspoon of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, just a teaspoon. Tablespoon if you want to, it's not that critical. And 1 or 2 drops of dishwasher liquid, just 1 or 2, in like a 32-ounce spritz bottle. Since I don't use application fluid anymore, I do all of my applications dry. I didn't bother to make up a quart of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this up and I'm going to rub it with a soapy dish rag, and then I'm going to spritz some alcohol on it. I use the alcohol to clean glass, by the way. If you go to put a decal on your vehicle, do not just use don't just use Windex. It's got that ammonia in it, and your decals will not stick to it. Ain't worth a crap. You still got to go back in there with some soapy water and clean your glass to get the ammonia off. Okay? So anyway, let me demonstrate this. It's going to take me 2 steps here, because normally you'd have soapy water mixed with alcohol, and I'm just going to put a little soapy water and just spritz a little alcohol on it. There we go. All right. So with it turned up, just like we've done before, we're going to peel that we want a real sharp bend in that wax paper so that your decals will stay on your tape. It's called application tape. It's not masking tape. It's thinner and it's got less tack. That way it will release from your vinyl. Okay, so we just about got it. All right. Now, you can also go on here and you can spritz this down real good. All right. I mean, you can soak this thing all you want to, but all you got to do is just work it right on down. And what happens is this will allow you, when you're just learning how to do this, this will allow you to get the bubbles out because it don't stick like it does on a dry. So all you got to do then is get it right where you want it. Yes, I'm doing a shameless plug right here, folks. I'm advertising my website where I do custom-made t-shirts and decals and signs and just anything you can think of with vinyl lettering, and thermal imprint material that I do to make you a custom t-shirt. But anyway, after you get it on there real good, you might have to let this dry. This might not let us peel it right off. See there? It's not letting us do it. And that's the disadvantage to your wet applications. That has to really dry on there. It works really good out in the sun. And I'm going to try to squeeze you some more. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get that soapy water out from under that vinyl. And if it won't release, then I'm going to have to, let me show you one more trick. You can soak the outside of this paper real good. This is why I hate doing the wet application. Once I learned to do it dry, that's the only way I do it. But anyway, if you soak that paper tape, it'll help it to release. So, I mean, you're watching this in real time. I'm not stopping the camera to cheat or nothing. But if it don't release this time, I am going to stop the camera and let this soak for a little while. So let's see if that helped me any. Nope. You can still see moisture in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it on there. I'm going to get my washcloth real good and wet and soapy, and I'm going to soak this tape down real good, and it'll almost fall off them letters. So I'm going to shut the camera off, and I'll let you know how long a period of time we had to wait. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes, and what I did is I went in the house, got the washcloth real wet, washed it down, and noticed it's already starting to work. So I went in there, soaked it down again, brought it in here, and I just washed it, just like I was just trying to get it clean. Now we'll see if it'll do any better. There it goes. Up. All right. All you do is lay it right back up in place, just like that. Take your squeegee to it. Just watch it real careful. Like I said, this is why I don't do the wet application anymore. I prefer the dry, because you put on dry and it stays. It's done. It's over with. It's stuck. So, hope you're learning something here. I'm going to have to let this set and relax some more because it just ain't working yet. Sorry. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. I've washed it down a few times, and I tried it once or twice and had to put it back and try it again. So we're going to see where we're at now. It's been about 5 minutes. The paper's getting a lot softer now. See, the paper itself is relaxing, and that's what you want, because when you put that on wet, that glue is not sticking to that glass real good. Now after the sun hits it, oh man, it'll just stay just like it's supposed to. But for now, we're just trying to get off of that dadgum vinyl, and as you see, it's giving me a little bit of trouble. So let's see what we got. It's been about 10 minutes. I've washed it down several times with the washcloth, and that paper should be very relaxed. We'll see here. I'll squeegee it down, make sure I got all the water out from under it, and let's see what happens. See, the tape is really soft. It's just barely holding. See, I'm keeping that real sharp angle on those letters. That G was a little loose, but it stayed. And we're just walking right on down. That H is trying to come up. But this is doing it wet, and I don't like to do it wet, and you see why. But it is a way that you can readjust if you didn't get it lined up just right, or you having trouble getting it lined up just right. You can peel the tape off, slap your vehicle up there, or slap your decal up there, shift it around, slide it, get it exactly the way you want it. Like I didn't take a level to this. I didn't try to see if I was lined up on that thing right there, because I can take this off. You can take this off of the glass. You can take it off with a razor blade, just like you do a bumper sticker. All it is just vinyl. Okay. Now you saw some of those pieces are a little bit loose. In the sunshine, they will dry. But here is the one thing I wanted to try to impress upon you. Let me show you here. Just a second. All right. Here's what I want to impress to you. I hope that this will stick with you. Hope it sticks with you better than that stuck to the glass doing it the wet way, okay? Again, you peel that decal off at a sharp edge there. Find where you want it. Line up one side. Do it nice and even. I folded my tape. There you go. Do it dry. It'd work a lot better. Anyway, I did put a shameless plug in here for my websites and my email. Holler if you got any questions, and please like and subscribe. And hey, check out a buddy of mine. His name's Idaho Hillbilly, and he's on YouTube as Idaho Hillbilly. And he has made something from nothing. I mean, he had a dream, and he is living his dream thanks to people that are helping him out. And go check out some of his videos. He's a guy that made a video how he built a cabin for $50. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Doing It Cheap. Bye. Ain't got no pretty music. While the credits is rolling, you can see that it's real easy to take off if you ever want to get rid of it. It's just vinyl, just like a bumper sticker. Figured I might ought to get this off when my wife got home from work. She might not appreciate me using her front door for a movie stage and all that. See how easy that come off on the wet application? Do it dry. See y'all.